Hello everyone, welcome to another The Tetra Travels video. Hope you enjoy this one. It's all about the Titanic exhibition. Due to the temporary nature of the exhibition centre, I really wasn't sure what the access would be like. So I was really pleasantly surprised when I arrived to find they'd set up a temporary ramp that was actually sturdy and usable. The only unfortunate thing was it led on some cobbles, which I didn't really like. The area around Canada Water is really lovely. It's the old docklands which have been regenerated, so everything is very modern and easy to get around. You can see here some footage of inside the arena. However, actually getting in here, there was a very steep ramp. Although actually, if you went through and asked them about it, you could have gone backwards through the exhibition to begin with to be able to avoid the steep ramp. One of the more fascinating exhibition pieces was a full-scale model of the Titanic. It's about 3 meters long and has the exact floor layout of every cabin on the Titanic. It was really fascinating and I've not seen this before. The only problem with this was getting past the crowds, but once I managed to get past them all, it was really fascinating to see inside what the conditions would have looked like and where people would have slept, as well as the dining rooms, etc. It was really interesting to see the layout of the boiler rooms right at the bottom. The exhibition was really interesting once you were inside. It was mainly made up of pictures, but also had recreations of bits of the Titanic and things that were recovered from the Titanic, as well as artifacts that came from its sister ships, such as Olympia. The best thing about the exhibition was the audio guide. It really was informative and helped bring to life all the exhibit pieces. A lot of it was focused around the pictures who were up on the wall. It told their stories and how they came to be on the Titanic and what their lives were. There were a few parts of the exhibition I wasn't so keen on. There was this picture that was advertised online that made it look like they'd recreated part of the Titanic, but it actually turned out to just be a very basic picture that you could have your photo in front of. But overall, I thought it was very good, and the audio guide was excellent. I think the audio guide could really benefit people with blindness. They might be able to go to the exhibition and really be able to enjoy learning about the history of the Titanic and what it was like to be on board. The personal stories told by the audio guide, as well as the pieces that showed how the Titanic looked on board, really helped bring those people to life. It made me really sort of connect with what happened on that ship and what the disaster was all about. I came away from the exhibition actually feeling quite sad about what happened at the event. Despite this sadness, I came away really pleased I went. The access overall I thought was very good. Nice wide areas, easy to get around, and perfectly good for a wheelchair, although some of the artifacts were a bit too high for a wheelchair user to see at an easy reach. I thought this bit of the exhibition was actually really interesting, where you actually got to walk through what one of the hallways would have looked like in the Titanic. I've cut off the top of the photo here just for the people's privacy, but actually it was really nice and really sort of made you feel like you were on the Titanic walking through this little section. So I think just for that alone, it was kind of interesting to go along to the exhibition, and I'd encourage you to. It was hard to get footage and pictures that didn't have people in it, as it was actually quite packed, which didn't feel that COVID secure, so it did feel a bit worrying from that point of view. One of the best things I thought at the exhibition was this iceberg that you just saw on the left there. It actually was chilled to the same temperature that the water would have been on that day, so if you held it, you could feel what it would have been like to be in the water, and it's no wonder that everyone basically perished if they hit that water. It was freezing, and I could only keep my hand on it for a few seconds without feeling chills. I was also pleasantly surprised by the accessible toilets. Given that it's a temporary venue, I didn't really expect much, but actually the toilet was laid out well, had a reasonably good amount of space, and complied with most of the regulations, so this was a plus for the exhibition. Towards the end, they had some more modern day footage about when they went to dive to the wreckage site and some of the models built of what they found. I found this really fascinating. Overall, I really enjoyed this exhibition, and I thought it was fairly good from an access point of view. I think my main complaint wasn't really with the venue, but actually with the people inside. There was just a few too many people, and a lot of them got in my way and weren't very nice about getting out of my way, which actually made me feel a bit rubbish. I found this at quite a lot of places, that people are just too focused on trying to see things, and they don't take account that other people are around them and actually can't get to the pieces as easily as other people. It would be nice if people could sort of bear this in mind in day-to-day life, that actually sometimes people need to get out of the way a little bit more and just be aware of people around them. So that would have been a sort of nice thing to have, but I can't really criticise the exhibition itself for that. It's more the people around me. The exhibition was within easy reach of the Jubilee line, which is accessible in most of the East End of London, so that was actually really easy to get from and to. It was about a 4-minute wheel from the exhibition centre to the Jubilee line, so really easy to get to. Although I didn't actually put this in the video, one of the things that really stuck with me was at the end of the exhibition they had a list of all the names that died. It's only when you see that sheer number it was really sort of striking and sort of affected me. I think going through that room kind of makes you realise the human cost of these sort of tragedies, and makes you think about other tragedies that have happened even in modern times in our lifetime, possibly even over the last few years with COVID. It really sort of puts those numbers in perspective when you sort of see them all laid out. There were a few improvements they could have made, such as one of the steep ramps, having fewer people in the exhibition centre, and maybe a bit more advice about how you could get carers access. I had to email in advance to ask whether this was possible. They didn't really have much of a clue, and they kind of emailed me back saying, yeah, bring some evidence of your disability, which I think is fairly obvious as I'm in a wheelchair. But they did actually allow my carer in, but even when I got there, the people were kind of like, oh, we don't know anything about this, and I kind of had to sort of say, yeah, I did email ahead, and it was all okay. I would definitely recommend going while you have the chance. I think it was really informative, educational, and very emotional. I really felt like I came away sort of sad, but I'd learnt something and very sort of more knowledgeable about what had gone on. So yeah, please go ahead and try it, and really, I thought it was really enjoyable. I'll put a link to where you can get tickets for the exhibition below. Hopefully if you want to go check it out, you can easily see where to get tickets. I'll also put a link to Google Maps. Hopefully it will help you find out where it is, so you can maybe plan your journey if you need to. So yeah, please click away down there and it will all be there. That'll be it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe you go and check the exhibition out, and if you do, please comment away and let me know, see what you think of it. If you liked the video, please like, share and subscribe it. It really helps the channel out, and I really want to build. I'm looking to upload 1 video a week, so yeah, look out for it, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you next week.